This video is sponsored by NordVPN. It's what I use to keep myself safe online, and you can too. If you care about the privacy and security of your information, NordVPN is giving you 70% off a 3-year plan, only $349 a month when you go to nordvpn.com/cupodcast or use code CUPodcast at checkout. Plus, you get an extra month of NordVPN for free.
Today, having a VPN is more critical than ever. Why? Well, if you're going online, your information and browsing habits are out there for anyone to get a hold of. When you use NordVPN, there are thousands of super fast servers in 60 plus countries, and those connections secure your information using military-grade encryption. And there is no data logging. That means your information, what you do online, is nearly impossible to track. There's an automatic kill switch that shuts off the internet if it disconnects from the VPN, and it works in China and the Middle East, even countries like the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia.
There's a NordVPN app for your phone and laptop, so that means when you're getting free Wi-Fi at the coffee shop, airport, hotel, wherever, things like your passwords and banking info are harder to get a hold of. It works on PC, macOS, Android, iOS. There's unlimited bandwidth and a money-back guarantee. Again, to get that special offer and start taking your internet security seriously, get 70% off a 3-year plan and 1 extra month of NordVPN for free by going to nordvpn.com/CUPodcast or use code CUPodcast. Take control of your internet again with NordVPN. All right, Ian.
Patrick.
Nintendo has some several at this point mobile apps.
Yeah. Nintendo is deciding that it's going to calm its tits on mobile gaming. And I'm not.
Is that what they officially said? Doug Bowser, we're gonna calm our tits.
We're gonna fucking calm our tits on the mobile gaming, guys. So Nintendo is. This is a Bloomberg article. Nintendo is retreating from the $77 billion mobile gaming arena after disappointing results deflated once lofty ambitions, ending a multi-year effort, just as the market goes through an unprecedented COVID era boom. It's interesting how you can track. It's one of the few things I think that literally from like it would have to be an early episode of the CU podcast where we talked about Nintendo not doing mobile games. The entirety of Nintendo's entry into the mobile market and exit of the mobile market can be covered with the CU podcast. It was quick. I mean, the CU podcast has been out for a while, but they came in.
It's been a while.
Oh, that's awful. They entered the mobile market with Tomodachi Life, which was a weird little, something like
that was before Miitomo?
Yeah, it was before Miitomo. And it was, Miitomo is the phone one. Tomodachi Life was the 3DS one. Same characters, same style game. Yeah. So Miitomo. It was an interesting little like social app.
Everyone used it for a few weeks.
It was fun, and I mean, it fell apart. They released Super Mario Run, which is a one-button Super Mario platformer. It's an auto runner.
$9.99.
$9.99. No freemium mechanics or anything like that, or free to play. You got a demo and then you bought it if you liked it. I thought it was a great game. I enjoyed Super Mario Run.
I completed it. I got all the black coins on it. I thought it was worth $10.
Yeah,
but they didn't know that the mobile market doesn't like pricing that way. The customers,
right?
They don't like buying things. They rather spend $1 up front or free and then spend $50 in DLC or freemium bullshit. You know.
They had their Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which was a relative success from what I've heard. And then Dragalia Lost, which was their free-to-play RPG. They also have the Fire Emblem game. All the games, like especially the Fire Emblem one, Super Mario Run, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, from what I've heard, and they have their Mario Kart game too, Mario Kart Tour.
And then the Dr. Mario one.
Dr. Mario. Yeah.
That came out with, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah, Dr. Mario World. All of the games have been relatively fun.
Yes.
The games aren't the problem. I just think Nintendo's not really making any...
Dr. Mario World was July of last year. Okay. Almost a year.
They're not making a ton of money off of it. And according to this... article. Mobile games were expected to make $77.2 billion this year, which would account for half the overall video game industry's sales, according to research from Newzoo. But since the release of Mario Kart Tour in fall 2019, Nintendo's mobile pipeline is empty. They've got nothing. They're not working on anything to come out. In a sense, Nintendo's enormous success on console reduced the need and pressures to put resources into mobile, and I think that's true. They don't
have to hedge your bets as much.
Right. It says furthermore here in this article, fearing that it would harm the brand equity of its franchises, Nintendo asked its mobile development partners not to force players to spend a lot in games, according to people at those companies who asked not to be identified as the matter is private. A Nintendo spokesperson declined to comment. I could totally see that being the case, though. I mean, we talked for ages about how Nintendo didn't want to do mobile because they don't want to cheapen what they see is very strong brands, and it's true. Part of the reason why Nintendo is so successful is whether people actively say they love or hate Nintendo, people know that there is going to be a level of quality associated with a Mario game, a Zelda game, something like that. They're not going to come out and be absolute disastrous bullshit crap.
People will spend $250 or $300 just to play that new Zelda game, because they know that $350 because they know that Zelda game is going to be insanely good.
People can argue that Mario Odyssey is too easy, or that they didn't like the weapons breaking in Breath of the Wild, and there can be lots of people who personally don't like it. But Nintendo has done such a good job with their licensings over the years that that you're not
the first party
stuff. You're not going to just get some shoveled out bullshit.
Yes,
and that is something that they want to keep up. Nintendo's also been good with their DLC practices, in their microtransactions. Again, they said they weren't going to, and they slowly eased into it. But when they do their stuff, like you got both expansions for Breath of the Wild, which was a lot of content, for $20. You got your Mario Kart 8 content on the Wii U for $20. So it makes sense to me that they would be nervous about not only entering the mobile market, but then once they do, having their image as of a good value, I guess, being destroyed.
That's gotta be added.
And that's going to keep them from making an effective mobile game. I mean, that's unfortunately, I think, part of mobile gaming right now is you have to be able to factor in some sort of money making like that.
Yeah, so they're in a weird spot.
Because they realized with Super Mario Run that they couldn't charge $10 for the game because people don't do that.
But they did.
But people don't do that on phones. But they don't want to charge the money on the freemium stuff, so they're in a position where it probably makes the most sense for them to leave.
They are too ethical to put out a successful mobile game, and they don't want to at the same time sully their IPs.
And they realize and they understand the reality of the mobile market, and that you cannot charge for games like you would on a console.
So they learned we can't charge $10. Okay, let's try to do some of a freemium thing. Now we feel icky, and at the same time, what's the point? I think what did it was this Super Mario the Kart Tour, because to me when I'm playing this I'm like, well, graphically, this kind of looks like the Wii U game. It's graphically it's like it's close.
It's very simple shapes. Like if you really, because I really looked at it, like there's all sorts of tricks and cheats going on there, but it's a nice looking mobile game. Yes, but it's very nice.
It can satisfy that urge of doing Mario Kart on a phone, but that's not good for Nintendo overall. Because they can go out and sell, millions of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and make a lot more money, and they then tell you that the value, Ian, of you playing, it's going to cost you money to play Super Mario Kart,
right? Because
we know it's good. It's a 25-year-old franchise at this point. We're not giving it to you for free. Maybe they realize that we shouldn't be giving you these games for free. We can't make money for $10, but we shouldn't be giving you these games for free either. So maybe this isn't for us. And they just had to learn the hard way after some. And these are not
because at the end of the day, they want to make money too. They're not going to put the effort into releasing this shit for nothing.
And I guarantee you, they're making money off of these apps. It's just not worth their time versus how much they could potentially lose in tarnishing their IPs, plus potentially losing sales. Then again, it's like when I played the Mario Kart Tour, I played it for like a week, and I'm like, this is fun, but I need a real controller, and this does not fulfill my urge. But maybe they figured out, well, maybe this even fulfills the urges of some people. We'd rather them not play it on mobile than play it on the Switch.
Mario Kart Tour impressed me by how much I enjoyed it, but it was still not enough for me to be like, I'll play this over Mario Kart 8.
No.
I was like, oh, this turned out really well, because I was expecting it to be an unplayable mess, but I still didn't want to go back to it.
No, I got in first place in my races versus the CPUs. I did
Yeah.
well, whatever few multiplayer I did.
Same.
Like, it was fine, but not that it didn't feel right. That's the first thing I said to myself. If I'm playing this for a half hour, why am I playing this if I should be playing it on the TV?
That's exactly what I mean, that was the beginning of my I go through periods with Mario Kart 8 all the time, but that was the beginning of one of my like month-long obsessions with Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, was because I was playing the phone game and I'm sitting on my couch and I'm like, fuck this, and I grab the controller and just turn on Mario Kart 8. I don't need to play the phone game.
Dr. Mario World, that to me was a little bit different, because I don't see Nintendo putting out a $60 version of Dr. Mario on the Switch.
No.
That to me is more interesting. But at some point, Ian, you run out of IPs where I think you can do an effective mobile version.
Yeah.
And I think Nintendo's almost at that point. Could you do like a Pikmin maybe mobile version?
You could probably do something interesting with Pikmin. You could probably do something interesting with Zelda. But at the end of the day, you're always getting slightly boiled down, slightly diluted experiences.
And why do it?
Right.
Why do it when we've sold 60 million Switch consoles in 3 years?
Well, and that's a good thing to bring up too. The amount of money and what Nintendo is doing on mobile, and as we've always said, Nintendo was never in any danger. But this probably was a more exciting thing for them 3-4 years ago,
Sure.
when the Wii U was a failure and the Switch wasn't out yet, and they were like, well, we can do these mobile games, but they don't.
It's not worth their effort.
Well, it said it in this article.
it's like-
They don't need to now. Their success has negated their need to do mobile games.
Even if we can make money on it, the amount of money, it's your effort. It's your effort versus return. Even if it's profitable, it's like, well, who cares? We can have these people working on something else, or we'll put the money elsewhere. It doesn't matter. Small potatoes, Ian.
Small potatoes.
Greatest Godfather 2 thing. Small potatoes. It's a thing, but it doesn't matter. Small potatoes.
I go for some potatoes.
Good potatoes in my surf burrito last night. Really good.
Delicious.
Oh God, buttered.